All right, what's going on? All right, everybody. We got to get the stream likes up to 100. We just got to do it. It's just the way it's got to be. Is it muted? No, I'm not muted. All right. Let's get the stream likes to 100 real quick. Looks like I missed a super to start the stream. Do you guys like the chapter? This was a pretty cool chapter. Alright, so Andrew McCarthy says, Morj-kun, Kobe will defeat Aokiji. It's his destiny. So I want to start with this discussion. I know it's going to come up over the course of the stream. Well, it's... Okay, so let me explain why I'm late real quick. The real reason I'm late is because I was writing. I scrapped the video topic I was already working on because it was about to be about Kobe. Once I read the chapter, I was writing about Kobe. But then I'm looking online and everybody's talking about Conqueror's Haki. Does Kobe have advanced Conqueror's Haki? Does he have... What was it? What was he doing? Is he just a Conqueror's Haki user? What was it? Right? So I just scrapped and I started writing another video. And then once I start writing, I don't want to start stream till I'm done just because I'm mid-thought. So it took a while longer. But I have a video coming out next week on advanced Conqueror's Haki throughout the series and Conqueror's Haki in general. Just because I don't know where so much of the bullshit surrounding Conqueror's Haki came from. I really don't know. I mean, I can kind of understand it, but at the same time, it's just so inconsistent. I want to know what you guys think. We won't linger on the topic too long because, again, a video is coming out next week. But I'm just curious what people feel right now. To me, it's just armament. Not to say that Kobe might not be... He could be a Conqueror's Haki user because I think in his character, I think that could be fitting. But I'm just saying what he used right there. I don't think he tapped into advanced Conquerors or anything like that. Mr. Cabezablanca, thank you. Parvision's also making... What's a Parvision? Parvision's also making a Conqueror's Haki video. The crazy thing is I've made like... This will be my third Haki video. The first one was kind of defending Haki overall. The most recent one did go into Conqueror's Haki and common misconceptions. But I see that the same ideas just seem to run rampant no matter how much it gets broken down. So I'm going to give it one more shot. Jordan Taylor, thanks for being a Yonko tier member for 10 months, man. I'm excited to get back to Egghead. Yeah, I like that Oda just told us outright where we're going next chapter. I just want to figure out... This is... Will Candace Chad get the stream to 500 likes? Let's get the stream to 500 likes. That's a good idea. Tomahawk PWPT, lightning discussion. Oda is just unclear with it. Yeah, it's the lightning is the main part. The lightning doesn't... People are already on, like, there's lightning, there wasn't lightning. The lightning doesn't matter that much, I don't think. Okay. I will explain more. Obviously, there's a video coming out next week. But, in short, the lightning does matter in the sense that I think it's... The simplest way to put it is I think it's correlation, not causation. So, I think Oda likes doing lightning and stuff when he's doing a big Haki moment. And when he's demonstrating, oh, there's some crazy Haki shit going on, I'm going to draw, like, sparks and shit. And it's just more likely that Oda does it when it's Conqueror's Haki, because that's just, you're just going higher up the Haki scale. But he also does it with armament Haki. It's happened throughout the series. He's done it for armament. He's done it when he's done it when Conqueror's Haki users do stuff without using advanced Conquerors. And he's done it when the advanced Conqueror's Haki users do stuff. So it's just like a whole bunch of shit. Name, thanks for the 5. Bogard agenda fully dead. You hate to see it. Dude was on the ship and did absolutely nothing. Dude, was Bogard even on the ship? I don't remember. I really don't remember. I thought that it was a meme the entire time. But, turned out to be... turned out a lot of people really believed in it. Only characters with Conquerors have lightning, advanced or not. But that's not true. That's not true. You can see the Scabbards doing it. You can see Sabo doing it. You can see Burgess doing it. It's just not true. That's just one of those urban myths that pop up in the community. It happens. Characters without, like, literally, I mean, there's so many characters that aren't confirmed either way, like Aokiji, Ulti, and stuff that use the lightning. But then there's characters that are definitely not Conqueror's Haki users, like the Scabbards, like Sabo, like Burgess, that also do the lightning. Again, I think it's a trend, an upward trend. So it's like, the more likely you are, if it's a strong Haki moment, Oda's more likely to put lightning. And he's just more likely to include the lightning for a strong Haki moment when it's Conquerors or especially advanced Conquerors. You get what I'm saying? But there's still some instances of strong armament where Oda will draw the lightning. But I think the lightning overall just indicates, hey, this is some crazy Haki shit that's happening. Polmouth, thank you very much for gifting 10 memberships. I'm glad you enjoyed the chapter. I'll take this as you enjoying the chapter. Everyone say thank you. K Maya say thank you. Wade Turner say thank you. Jordan Vance say thank you. Angel Rees say thank you. Thandil Nosat say thank you. Bad Magic say thank you. Oof say god damn it, you made Oof a member? Alright, that's okay. And Mr. Cabazablanca say thank you. Oh, and Anthony Rogers. And OG3. Alright, I think we covered it. At least that's what I've seen. I think the video will make more sense if it... Andrew McCarthy, Luffy and Kobe maybe team up. Luffy versus Blackbeard, Kobe versus Aokiji. How crazy would it be if Aokiji stays with the Blackbeard Pirates so that Kobe can fight him? Holy shit. 02657. This dude came back. The Crocomom dude came. L chapter, no Crocomom. Holy shit. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate it, and I appreciate your dedication to talk about Crocomom for no reason. But yeah, you know what? I agree with you. It wasn't L chapter because Crocomom did not show up. Francisco Mas, thank you for being a Yonko tier member for 9 months. This was probably the best chapter in a long time for me. Loved Kobe and Garp, also the look in Aokiji's face at the end. I think, honestly, I liked last chapter better. I enjoyed, not that this chapter wasn't good. This chapter was great. I think I enjoyed last chapter even more because I think last chapter, to me, really got to the nitty-gritty of the emotional conflict and drama that was going on. This chapter was kind of that sort of positive climax, that positive upbeat note to end things on, while at the same time, obviously, Garp's ending makes the whole thing very bittersweet. And, not necessarily a positive ending, but I feel like last chapter was a lot of the drama. I suppose this chapter you could say was some of the payoff. Yeah, I think I could see it either way, but yeah, this was a great chapter for sure. Umair Ula, thank you for being a Yonko tier member for 4 months. The Kobe feat is most likely a strong punch coated with some Conqueror's armament. Oh, with some armament coating. I agree. Garp was able to destroy the battleship bags without Haki or Devil Fruit in Aokiji training. Yeah, I agree. I'm surprised so many people are... I think people, if they didn't see the sparks, they wouldn't jump to Conqueror's Haki. I understand why people jump to Conqueror's Haki anytime they see the sparks, because it's just very common with Conqueror's Haki, but it's not exclusive. That's the key. But the thing is, if you look at this moment of destroying Pizarro's arm, the closest, pretty much identical example was like Chinjao destroying Pika's arm. And Chinjao's just an armament Haki. Like, it's identical pretty much. It's just a strong attack that you throw that is going to destroy a lot of rock. And Chinjao's is also no contact, but people forget it's not just if it's... the tricky thing is that it's still so vague. So I'm not saying confidently one way or another. I'm just saying that we can't know for sure right now. It could be either because you've seen it both ways before. So the no contact matters, but characters are also able to just throw strong punches without contact that aren't just like extending your Conqueror's Haki. You know what I mean? Like, that also happens throughout the story as well. Luffy used to do that with attacks as well. Like, you can throw strong punches. Other characters do that. Burgess, etc. You can just throw strong punches that are just the force of it basically causes damage. Also, sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather right now. I've got a bit of a cold, but a bit of Dayquil/NyQuil will take care of that. Reflexy, thank you very much. 1088, the last chapter before Saboti 2.0 shocker. I think the Straw Hats are set up to succeed, man. I don't think that we're set up. I feel like the flow of the story is heading in a positive direction for the Straw Hats. So I think if they do have a A Moment of Defeat, I think it comes a little later personally, but I don't mind being wrong on that. You guys know I wouldn't mind. Caleb Brown, thanks for the 2. Do you think Kobe's growth is too excessive this chapter? I don't know. Did Kobe know armament hockey and stuff before this? I would love to have seen a bit more of what Kobe could do prior to this, because prior to this it was very vague. So prior to this, like, if you remember I like Kobe quite a bit. So for me, I've had to I made fun of Kobe, obviously, for not being able to carry around that iron ball. He had to do it with 2 heads. I made fun of him, obviously, but a lot of it was also because I like the character, and I knew so many people had very high expectations of him and were ready to shit on him if he didn't do well. So I went with the argument very heavily that, like, look, Kobe's probably not that strong. Everyone should keep their expectations low, etc., right? I even convinced myself that, look, Kobe doesn't have to be strong. And I've made that argument for a long time. That was mostly to just keep the, like, people were shitting on him and stuff after last chapter. I was just like, come on, he's not a vice admiral. He's not even supposed to have hockey yet. He's already probably caught up to, like, pre-time skip Luffy. That was my mentality. I would never have imagined that he could destroy Pizarro's whole arm. But at the same time, if you're asking was his growth this chapter, that's 2 questions, really. It feels like he had a big hockey bloom moment to me right here. So are you saying the growth within the chapter was too much? Or are you saying the growth that he did over the 2 years time skip was too much? Because that's 2 different things. I would love to know how strong he was prior to, you get what I'm saying? Like, how, like, before this chapter, where was he at? Before it seems like he got this jump. You know what I'm saying? Andrew McCarthy, thanks for the 2. Oh, no, we covered this. All right, I got a bunch of members. What's going on here? Let's see. Hold on. Hurrying Lyrics 44, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. Holy shit. All right, everybody's got to say thank you. All right, hold on. I was wondering what all the member notifications were. Okay, and we got some people entering Pirate King tier. Who just entered Pirate King tier? Okay, let me catch this first. Okay, Crescent, welcome to Pirate King tier. Thank you very much. That is the highest tier of support. There is an exclusive podcast that happens just for Pirate King tier members. It'll be coming out towards the end of the month. We'll be voting on what the topic you guys want me to talk about is soon. Thank you very much for that. In the meantime, Minfat, say thank you to Lyrics44. 8baller10, say thank you to Lyrics44. Achintya Mitra, say thank you. Mr. Mangolili, say thank you. Minfat, say thank you. Oh, no, you're good. My bad. Minfat, you don't gotta say thank you. Royal Fun, say thank you. AJK, say thank you. Griffix, say thank you. Good to see AJK in the stream. Sunny D, say thank you. Jordan Marison, say thank you. Kanerb, say thank you. Asdi, say thank you. Oliver Ojeda, say thank you. Tomaha PWPT, say thank you. Neil, say thank you. And Kidotai, say thank you. Oh, and Leonard Joaquin Teo Franco, what a name. Say thank you. Soga King, say thank you. Court Press 87, say thank you. El Coco Loco Barroco Como Mocos, what a great name, say thank you. All right, everybody said thank you. Make sure to say thank you. Beyond that, we got another member, 02657. Welcome to Pirate King tier. Same deal for you, man. Podcast for you, exclusively for Pirate King tier members towards the end of the month. It'll be on a topic that you guys specifically choose. And thank you for the 20 memberships. Everybody's got to say thank you to you as well. Osvaldo Flores said thank you. Gabriel Haidas say thank you. Adam Brown said thank you. Jeremy Stadler, Sam Fowler, Sandwich say thank you. Cash, Heart Sign, Cosine, Tangent. Daniel Joseph say thank you. Grizzly Adams say thank you. Jehun say thank you. Broke Kids, that's funny. You really needed it, huh? Say thank you. Pat Galley say thank you. Yokai say thank you. Zizi say thank you. Gilfie Linda, that's a cool name. I don't know what that's from. Say thank you. Nicholas Henriquez say thank you. Sway Shock say thank you. Ibrahim El Sharkway say thank you. All right. Caught up on that real quick. Let me take a look. Make sure I'm caught up on these supers too. Hold on. And you know what? We need to get the stream likes way higher. Let's get stream likes to 300. Hurrying Lyrics gifted another 20 memberships. Do you just like hearing me repeat all of the names? That's funny. I'm happy to do it. Prophet Glutton, Dan, Ice Cream Gnomes, you all gotta thank Hurrying Lyrics 44. I really appreciated 40 gifted memberships today, Hurrying Lyrics. Save Money. These are the type of people that really need the memberships. Like Zoinks 1. Toa Enrica. Waffles. OG Tampico Juice. Monax, say thank you. What the hell's going on here? 02657 is getting prideful. Pfefferadon, say thank you. Bitey McGar, say thank you. Matthew Fife, say thank you. Fanic Fox 3, say thank you. Nicholas, say thank you. Captain Face, say thank you. James the Max, say thank you. Naya, say thank you. Poco Loco, that's funny. It's from JoJo's Part 7, say thank you. Alright, I think we're good there. My god, everyone in chat's gonna be a member soon. It won't be exclusive at all. Alright, where are we at? Reflex. No, we covered this. JDGs. Considering all he can do is fight, do you think Luffy will be content finding the One Piece with no fights in his journey? No, I think Luffy. I think if you look throughout the story, Luffy. This even goes to my last video. When Luffy was offered the option, they were like, we could just sneak around and steal the poneglyphs. Luffy didn't like that. Luffy was telling Hyogoro, I really have to defeat all 4 emperors to become Pirate King. Luffy wants to beat all 4 emperors. Obviously, that's not the way things played out. He didn't have to fight Big Mom at the end of the day. But what Luffy's preference is... Wait, what just happened? Oh! The fuck just happened? 02657. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Alright. Gotta make some people say thank you now. Alright. This is when I have a cold too. So, I'm trying to limit my talking. Thank you so much, first of all, 02657. I really, really appreciate it. I always appreciate you dropping by my streams. Always, even though, whenever you feel like it. Whenever you want to come through and talk about Crocomom. But on this subject, let's see. Tyson Goody, say thank you. Jim Mocha, say thank you. Cyber Syntax, say thank you. Sleeping Danger, say thank you. D Marquez, I do things sometimes. Lando. AIM PDX, Mashal, isn't that new anime series about like people working out to beat magic nerds? Pax Penguin, Peter Falk, make sure to say thank you. Misk the Tonic, say thank you. Jacob Patino, say thank you. By the way, I want you guys to actually say thank you. These people are gifting you memberships, so I think you guys like, I'm not just saying it to say it, you guys should say thank you. Notify, say thank you. Flaming Strawberry, say thank you. Respected Highlights, say thank you. Pirate King Season, Brandon King, Poli, I'll make sure you guys say thank you. Ghost Logic, say thank you. Bruno Farias, Rutoga, Edixon? Shit, now it's scrolling by too fast. Too many people are saying thank you. Fuck. Where are we at? I've lost it. Where are we at? Okay, got it. Sleeping Day. No, we covered you. Turtle Guy, say thank you. Mohamed Sadeghi, aren't you already a member? Nehemish Sayum, say thank you. Crystal, say thank you. Austin, say thank you. Luffy Senpai, how'd you claim that name? Oh no. Goot, say thank you. Jacob Prawn. Dennis Mick. SS, say thank you. Darkest, Furiyamato. Ali Clown. Hurrying Lyrics 44 says, you got it. I'm not going bag for bag. Well, Hurrying Lyrics, I still appreciate you for prompting this, so credit goes to you as well. Justin Anakani, say thank you. Bottom Boy E, say thank you. BC117, say thank you. Light Yagami, say thank you. Ryan Davenport, say thank you. Malding IRL2, say thank you. Hidden Rose, say thank you. Ryan Andrews, say thank you. HLDM. Uzair Nadim, Mr. Diesel 11268 Com. Shri Datta Madhira. That's a very Indian name. Dedricus, Voltanazy. Alright, you guys all said thank you? Alright. Again, 0267, I appreciate it. Oh my... I swear this stream we're going to talk about the chapter. I just don't know what's happening right now. I think I insulted Hurrying Lyrics 44's pride by giving them the I guess the the second place clap, I guess. I don't know. I think I offended your pride, but I appreciate it either way. All right, we are going to get to talk about the chapter. Just give me a second. Thank you, Hurrying Lyrics 44. It's very kind of you. All right. Sheitate, Ramajin, Chris Grad, Luffy, Francisco Mas, thank you for upgrading to Pirate King amidst all of this. Luffy, Ayaun, Funasawat, Juligan Chickenry, Mike Letterejo, Squid Pie, Pedro Viero, Frederic Johnson. Yeah, Hurrying Lyrics 44 says that's the last one. That is more than enough. Thank you, man. Straw Hat 48. Alex, I hope you guys are all saying thank you in the chat. Shonen Empire, don't say silent if you're in the chat and you got a gifted membership. Make sure you say thanks. Iced Empire, say thank you. James Halder, say thank you. Jackswee, say thanks. Anise23. Simolem. Mitalish Seth. Jonathan. Polynexu, say thanks. Vanilla Thunder, that's a good name. Fenrir, say thanks. D-Miz Mob, say thanks. Clay Blue Onizuka, Harry Creed, Black Lightning, all you guys say thank you. Rizaru, say thanks. Mike G, say thanks. Ethan Clement, say thanks. Hold on, I gotta scroll a second. Dom, say thanks. The Root, Hamda Jaled, everyone say thanks to Hurrying Lyrics 44, Manuel Payen, Matt DeCaro, Cinex, say thanks. Momia's DA Law, say thanks. Trish Status, say thanks. Mr. Shui, say thanks. Hernando Rodriguez, say thanks. Hadrish W, Nope Nope, Ronald Edwards, Cherryman, say thanks. The Only Mino, Joint Jutsu, Conan, Six Pains, you guys say thank you. Quint, John Rutkowski, Michael Beasley. All right, I think we're caught up. And named. All right, here's the deal. I'm gonna stop reading out individual names if you got a gifted membership for here on. Only for this stream, just for the purposes of this stream, because it's getting out of hand and it's important we do talk about the chapter. So I don't want to sacrifice the stream experience for everybody else. But as you guys know, normally I will always make sure to read out everybody who got gifted a membership to make sure that you guys also shout out the person who gifted you the membership. So after named, I'll read out anybody who becomes a member themselves, but I'm not going to read out a full list of gifted memberships for the next, if anybody else wants to do that going forward. So just know that. This is kind of crazy for this stream, though. I guess people really enjoyed the chapter. All right, named. Thank you for adding on to the gifted membership train that's going on. And everyone make sure to say thank you to named as well. Jonathan DeBarro, Balsam Fear, Luis Eseblo? What is that? Son Pan, say thanks. Melon, say thanks. Akash Nogi, say thanks. Slat Slime, say thanks. Bensky, say thanks. And Abrar Ahmed and Ulti, say thanks. Okay. Alright. I think we're caught up there. And Romajin just gifted one membership, so I will read that out as well. For the one person who was gifted by Romajin, Sully Lamp, make sure to say thank you to Romajin. Alright, guys. Thank you so much. I feel like the entire chat is a member now. That is kind of crazy. I should think of some sort of fun benefit for the members for this month. I'm sorry if you somehow missed the mass member gifting. That is somewhat embarrassing. Don't think too much about it. What you could do is become a member yourself. What is happening? All right, 02657. Covering everybody else who missed the initial surge, the initial waves of memberships. I feel like I'm not even relevant to this at this point. This just became a battle between 02657, Hurrying Lyrics 44, and named. to gift out the most memberships. As I said, I'm not going to read out another 50 names just for the sake of moving on the stream. But, guys, like, if you got gifted by 02657, make sure to say thank you. Oh, my God. Francisco Mas, thank you for gifting 50 memberships. You really did not have to. I don't know what is going on right now. This is kind of insane. I feel like I should do something. This feels borderline wrong. I feel like I should do something. Should I just do the waifu tier list right now? I feel like this is wrong. What should I do? Do something. I'm not gonna Bollywood dance. That's not happening. And there's a lot of supers I gotta catch up on, so I feel really bad about that too. Francisco Mas, seriously, thank you for jumping in on this. You did not need to match 50 for 50 just because everybody else is going crazy with it. Do you guys want me to do that TikTok NPC thing? I'm just kidding. I would literally never do that. Holy shit. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Francisco Mas. 02657, thank you for coming through and starting this whole thing. Everybody who got gifted by 02657, make sure you say your thanks. And of course, everyone that got gifted by Francisco Mas just now, make sure you say thank you to the guy. W, Francisco Mas, etc. W02657. And let's not forget Hurrying Lyrics, who kept the one-up train going. So yeah, just if anybody gave you a membership, just make sure you say thank you, etc. I'm gonna do this. Let me answer the supers first, because amidst all this, I feel like a lot of supers flew by. Let me just make sure I'm on that. But seriously, thank you guys. No more gifted memberships, please, honestly, for the rest of this stream, just because this feels a little too... This is kind of gotten out of hand. But seriously, that's kind of crazy. I'm also shocked that there are people in chat that don't have green names right now. How you guys are... you guys are really dodging pretty well here. Alan Sanji says, after being gone for a bit, I've arrived. Tension. You missed quite a bit. All right, let me catch up on these supers. I'm sorry, guys, if you were waiting on a super. Yeah, let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up to 400. Let's get the likes up to 400. Andrew McCarthy says, like I told you on Twitter, it's really unclear Advanced Conquerors Hockey. Again, look at my video coming up on Tuesday. See about that. Let me just say a general thank you to everybody that likes coming through to these streams and everything, because just, I don't know. I feel like I should voice that more frequently, you know what I mean? Which I probably don't enough, but I really do appreciate it. And please know that I don't take it for granted, even if sometimes I kind of do in my head, but I really do appreciate that like 1,000-something people like to drop in and watch these streams and ask questions, etc., etc. So I just try to make it as entertaining as I can. Let's keep going. CK says, Don Chinchao definitely has Conquerors Hockey champ. No, Don Chinchao does, but he doesn't have Advanced Conquerors Hockey, right? So when he attacked Pika, he's not using Advanced Conquerors Hockey. Knut Worgen, thanks. Great chapter, but Honesty Impact is a lame name. I didn't love the name either, personally. But it was more so the moment, right? I think it's largely because that's kind of Kobe's thing, right? Every time Kobe has a big moment with Alvida, with Akainu, right? It's really him standing up, speaking his mind. So that's kind of Kobe's thing. Despite his fears, it's important to step up, be honest about how he's feeling. It wasn't quite an honesty moment just now, but it speaks to the heart of his character, right? Jesus B, welcome. Thank you. I'm sorry you missed the membership train and had to do it yourself. Wisdom Minari, thanks for the 10. Let's get these likes up. I agree. TCB Scans roasting Morj on Wanovid Law. Wait, TCB Scans is in the chat? Where are they? Eric Tarlata says this shit is so annoying. Kobe isn't using advanced conquerors. I agree, Eric. You'll probably enjoy my video in the coming this next week. Wrench Dodger 2000 says sensitive SmackDown. Yeah, that's kind of Kobe's thing. Jay, thanks for the 10. Personally, I don't like how Garp just gave up the fight. I don't know if he gave up the fight. I understand the mission was a success and that's all he wanted, but I would have loved a full fight between him and Kuzan. No awakening. What the fuck? Yeah, I think missed opportunity for Devil Fruit Awakening, but that wasn't really the point of all of this, I guess. It was more so for the drama to come out of it. And I don't feel like Garp gave up the fight. I feel like he did everything he could, and he was ganged up on. He was, it wasn't just him versus Kuzan at the end of the day. I think he did everything he could. He got them away, and then at the end, what happened. I don't think he could have just defeated the entire Blackbeard Pirates plus Aokiji and gotten out of there. I think what we saw was just the natural final conclusion to that battle. Not saying like Aokiji beat him straight up or anything, because we know he didn't. There were clearly other Blackbeard pirates, but I don't think it's a result of Garp giving up. Jay, thanks for the 10. No, we covered this. Kecker's boy, thanks for the 5. Seems like a case of Kobe being strong enough to do this, but not having the confidence in himself to do it. That's what Garp knew. That's a really good point. That is a really good point. And I think, I like that that's what that's always been Kobe's thing. He has the potential to be great, but he has to overcome himself. It's Usopp-esque, but with a twist. They're different in several ways. J.K. Kane, thanks for the 5. If this is just a taste of the emotions that the final saga will contain, I'm not going to be able to make it. Yeah, because that's the thing. Because in the final saga, the more that I'm thinking about it, there's so many character pasts and histories that we know about that we want to delve into, like Shanks Mihawk, Dragon Garp, things like that. There's so many things that we want to delve into, but we can't because we've been holding off on that shit for so long, right? We can't find out the nitty-gritty about it, right? And I find that in One Piece, because it follows this pattern of basically we have to get to an arc, learn about new characters, and then get into those characters' emotional character dynamics with each other. Those generally produce great stories, but the ones that we really, really, really are interested in are the characters that are established, that we know about for a long time, right? So like Garp, Shanks, Mihawk, Dragon, Kobe, etc., Aokiji, even Akainu, Blackbeard. So the fact that the final saga is going to be all of that, that means that pretty much any serious character conflict that we get into is going to be a wildly interesting one, right? 02657 says TCB asking for Warner review. I'm asking for Crocomom. I don't know if I can deliver Crocomom, man. I don't know if I can deliver Crocomom. Thank you for the 100. Holy shit. Who is this person? Who are you? Are you made of cash? Who are you? This is insane. Because I can understand giving $100 of support and maybe wanting something you're really interested on, like an in-depth opinion about it or something like that from me or something. But you show up just to ask about Crocomom. So you like just throwing it away, which is hilarious to me. Damn, I appreciate it though. For sure. Of course, obviously. Where are we at? Herolet, thanks. Kobe is believable to me as it was a crisis moment. I mean, we know how hockey blooms. Mr. Cabeza Blanca, thank you. Lazaro stocks her down. Woofy gonna tune force his ass. Boringlocio let the gang claim Egghead. I do think this because I don't think Aokiji showed any impressive hockey here. And at the end of the day, like, despite Aokiji having a strong fruit and good hockey, right? When I say no impressive hockey, I mean, like, he's not showing crazy advanced Conquerors hockey like Yonko and stuff. He showed good hockey, armament hockey and stuff against Garp, as far as we can tell. Maybe some people will still say it's Conquerors. I don't know, but I feel confident that Luffy would beat. You know, like, I remember even after Wano, a lot of people were like, how would Luffy do against an Admiral? And, I've been advocating Luffy being stronger than a lot of readers believe for a while, but I feel like with the showings that we got from Aokiji, not that Aokiji was bad, but just not, I don't think Aokiji's like Kaido's level. I don't think Aokiji's like Shanks' level. I don't think Aokiji's like Big Mom's level, and I think he would give them a great fight, but Um, you know what? Even if you think Aokiji's their level, I don't think all the admirals are there. You know what I mean? I don't think, like, Luffy versus Kizaru, I will favor Luffy with greater confidence now. You know what I'm saying? With greater confidence for sure at this point. Sean Easton, thanks for the 5. Could you get a waiting for stream title screen plus music that turns on when the stream time hits? My phone turns off when I'm waiting for stream. Okay, I think I actually had that. I think I actually had something like that. And then I did it once and people got mad. Not mad, but like, they're like, what the fuck, Morj? This is... You know what I mean? But a title screen plus music... I could try it again. I think I didn't do music that time. I think I just did a title screen. But title screen plus music. Okay, we can see about that. We could try that. We could try that. CK, thanks for the 5. Look up King Elizabella's Dressrosa Punch, Black Lightning, and a similar feat as Kobe destroying Pika. No Haki or Devil Fruit. He's the King of Kings. Lol. I'm not... This Haki discussion has gone too far. Now we're getting to Elizabello and shit. I'm not scaling Elizabello among Conqueror's Haki users and stuff. Goku, thanks for the 5. Morj, I saw you today looking for your car. I know where my car is. Luffy was there. He did the Gum Gum Punch. There were no survivors. Kobe is stronger than Kid BTW. I really think Kobe is impossible to scale right now. Because we don't know what that moment, like, was that moment just Kobe unlocking his true potential, but Kobe, like, what's his normal fighting level, you know what I mean? Hurrying Lyrics said I spent over $600. Oh, wait, I don't have you as a moderator? You should be a moderator, of course. My mistake. Should definitely have you as a moderator. Alright. Strahd48, thank you. Got gifted a 1 month when I didn't even realize the stream was going. Thanks whoever did that. Okay, so that's a few different people. It might be 02657. It might be Hurrying Lyrics 44. It might be named. It might be Francisco Mas. I don't know. Isaac St. Charles. Say thank you. Oh, I was like, say thank you because I was just like talking about memberships. One Piece will follow Game of Thrones ending. Please no. Where Daenerys beat world enemy Night King before her rival Cersei, so Luffy will defeat Emu before Blackbeard. Game of Thrones is a very, very different narrative than One Piece. One Piece is more so traditional, like, traditional good guys and bad guys for the most part. Whereas Game of Thrones was meant to be very, very messy as to who the final villains, who the real villains were. Mr. Crescent, thanks. How does it feel to be wrong about Kobe, lol? I mean, if you go back and look, I know I was wrong about Kobe. But if you go back and look, I was never... It was the opposite in that I like Kobe as a character. So I always was like, people are placing too high expectations on him. Leave him alone. I feel like that's not what his role needs to be. That was basically my view on it. Because I didn't want to... I got tired of people hyping Kobe up as though he should be Admiral level or close to that already. When he's like... not even a Vice Admiral yet. When he's only been fighting for 2 years. And he's such a good character outside of needing to be strong, in my opinion. That's my thing. So, for me... yeah, I was wrong about Kobe, but it's one of those things where I'm okay being wrong about it because everything I was saying before was mostly to protect him from, like, protect the character I like from being made fun of by people who demand that he be strong when I really feel like he doesn't need to be, if that makes sense. I wasn't, like, shitting on Kobe ever. If you go back and look at my previous streams and previous videos where I've talked about Kobe, I was never shitting on Kobe. I did, however, make fun of him for not being able to carry that iron ball around because I think that that's very funny, objectively, and I still think that that's funny. No matter how you spin it, the image of Kobe running around with 2 hands carrying a single iron ball and chain is fucking hilarious, considering he's capable of destroying a mountain if he so chose. 02657. Jesus Christ. What is this? What is happening? What's going on? You're already a mod, right? There's nothing more I could do for you. What is going on? What do I do? You are already a mod, right? You're not a mod? Oh my god. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you weren't a mod. Are you made of money? I swear I made you a mod before, though. I fucking swear I made you a mod, because we've gone through this exact discussion before. That man wants a Crocomon video. Jake Cash says stolen credit card, lol. That's funny. Bassam El Madawi, thanks for the 10. I think Kobe's on the level of Yonko 1, but he needs more confidence in his ability. This reminds me of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan when Goku knew he was stronger than Gohan did. I think Kobe and Sabo will fight Akainu. Kobe fighting Akainu is an interesting idea, especially if Kobe's supposed to be the future of the Marines. That's a really interesting idea, but it's so fucking crazy for me to think about. Here's the thing. Kobe's level at the moment, it's tricky for me to pin down for two reasons. One, we don't know if it was Conqueror's Haki or not, right? If that was a moment of advanced Conqueror's Haki, then we can scale Kobe totally different. Two, we don't know if it's something that, is this just going to be Kobe from here on? Or was this kind of like a one-off thing, like he's going to be able to have like some crazy hockey moments once in a while, but for the most part, he fights at the level of like low Vice Admiral or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Or like maybe Vice Admiral. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to think of a comparable example in One Piece, but I can't think of one off the top of my head, maybe. I feel like it's similar to, but to a much lower degree. Like Zoro tapped into Ashura or whatever to cut Kaido, but I don't think Zoro can do Ashura consistently until he mastered Conqueror's Haki later down the line. A little bit later down the line, but there's really not comparable examples I can think of in One Piece, but what I'm saying is like, you know, is this just Kobe's level, or is this a one-off? Let's get the stream likes to 500. Also, I think I forgot to say it this time, but everyone make sure you say thank you to 02657. Definitely make sure to say thank you to him. If you just became a member thanks to him, just make sure you say thank you. You should see a lot of W's, etc. for him. Even a lot of Crocomom support. Joseph1209, thanks for the 10. What is a realistic reason why Garp would keep Garp alive? Poneglyphs, leverage against the world government, reaction from Luffy, Rock's intro for Teach. I like the idea he's the Marine version of the Pirate King death. I feel like it's the bargaining chip thing, right? Blackbeard trying to become king. He needed a bargaining chip against the world government. Kobe was established to be a member of Sword, therefore not worth anything. But it has not been established whether or not Garp is a member of Sword. So Garp being a bargaining chip, I think, is perfect for it. Because Garp is, you know, he is, as you said, the Marine version of the Pirate King. That is a fair bargaining chip probably for the world government to be like, okay, for the sake of our public reputation, etc., we probably need this dude back. I don't know. Flame, thanks for the 5. Kobe Loki's stronger than Smoker now. Yeah, I was hoping we would see some sort of a Smoker appearance or something. Some sort of a Smoker appearance. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, it would be cool if it happened. This would be a great time for it, but I'm not expecting it. Sean Easton, thanks for the 5. Yo, if you feel a bit bad, all you have to do is have membership goals, 500 or 1,000 for Wano video or Waifu tier list, you'll be eating very well. That is true, but it's also just like, Wano video I should do, that's something I'm doing regardless, so that's not like a goal. And Waifu tier list, I would rather do most anything than the Waifu tier list. But that is a good point. Doing a membership goal is a good point. Caleb Brown, thanks for the 2. TCB said they won't translate until we get a Wano vid. That TCB, then I have to do One Piece scans. And I don't want to, but you know I will. It's just the way it'll have to be. I think you've got it backwards. I'm holding off from doing One Piece scans because I want to support you translating. You refusing to translate doesn't... That's... Never mind. Mr. Prestige, thanks. I know the Morj meme stream ended in failure, but I'm sure you'll giggle at this one. It's a YouTube video. I have to open it in a separate tab to make sure it's not something crazy. Okay, I'm gonna watch this once the stream slows down, and then if it's good, I'll move it over to the display so everyone can see. Fodder for hire, thanks for the 10. So should we take this Garp death scene seriously? Him being labeled missing in action seems like a way to save Garp for something important. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Garp's dead. I feel like if we wanted a full death scene out of it, Oda would do it. You know, like with Ace or Whitebeard. Dick so small, what is this? Dick so small, I piss on the full thing is cropped out, so it's just BA. So I assume it's basically Dick so small is his name. Kobe being the first friend Luffy made as a pirate. That's true, I forget about that. I always think of it as Zoro. Plus, developing through the story with Garp and now Teach is leading to Luffy/Kobe versus Blackbeard. Kobe versus Blackbeard? You know, people pushed for, like, you know, Roger and Garp versus the Rocks Pirates, so Luffy's got to have that equivalent. I don't know if I believe in that, but that is interesting as an idea because Kobe's got the motivation now. Let me do a poll real quick. Do people think Garp is dead? I don't think Garp is dead. Is Garp dead? And then I'm going to do a poll about Kobe's hockey. Okay, so Garp, we're pretty confident is not dead. I don't think I need to let this poll keep running. But the other one is... Did Kobe use advanced Conquerors hockey? This is the one I'm interested about. Think before you vote on this one. Francisco Mas. Wait, let me see if I can. Okay, most people don't think Kobe used Advanced Conquerors hockey. I agree. Let me see one thing real quick. Is Francisco Mas still in the stream? If Francisco Mas is still in the stream, I'll make you a mod. But just let me know if you pop up. I don't know if you're already a mod or not. Alright, Francisco Mas, thanks. Garp's best chapter, I think in his mind he made up for Marineford and how he could not save Ace. Yeah, I agree, this was a great chapter. Garp's best chapter, I like last chapter better for Garp. Just no, this was Garp's best. I don't know if it's his best chapter because I feel like this whole raid was so good for him, you know? Last chapter was really cool to me because it was just I feel like last chapter, just him fighting through all of the Blackbeard pirates, going toe-to-toe with Aokiji at the same time while injured and everything like that. Just him, like, fighting with everything falling on his shoulders, basically, while at the same time getting the flashbacks over and over of his past and his dynamic with the... You know what's crazy? Okay, here's why I like the last two chapters. Last chapter was basically... the failures of Garp, right? In a sense, where he's not the failures, but what he perceives as his failures, right? His shortcoming, like Aokiji, Luffy, Dragon, Ace, right? Everybody that he's ever cared about has always chosen a path that he views as the wrong path. And then this chapter was basically kind of shutting the book of Garp, the hero of the Marines. He's not dead, but basically he finally got captured and defeated by pirates, which I assume has not happened before. But in that moment, the last hope that he has and the one that he's really been taken care of, right? His vision of, okay, this is the future of the Marines, Kobe, that ascends at the same time. So I feel like the last two chapters are perfect. It's a perfect part A, part B for Garp's story. Cedric, thank you very much. Thank you for the 5. What do you think makes a character likable? Yamato, Vivi, Law, Kaido. Or unlikable, Scabbards, Kid, Big Mom, and Kinemon. I think there's a huge variety of reasons that I think it's way too much to break down. Because, for example, I fucking hated Yamato. But I even liked Yamato initially. Yamato took me a while to dislike. A good while to dislike. And flip side, no, same thing. I liked Kaido a lot initially. Ended up not liking Kaido by the end of it. Vivi, I think I wasn't as hot on Vivi for a while, and then eventually I came around to really liking Vivi. Unlikable, the Scabbards, I think I liked a lot of the Scabbards individually, and then over the course of Wano, I came to stop caring about a lot of them. I think Kinemon I came to like later on. I think what makes a character likable or unlikable, a lot of it's going to be your own personal preference in... Okay, there's the basic level, okay? So level 1, right? Level 1 is the surface level aspects of the character, right? So that's their personality. So right off the bat, do you like their personality? Their design, characters that look cooler are going to tend to just be more inherently likable, right? And then usually their abilities, right? So, for example, why did Marco become such a popular character right off the bat? People kind of like his laid-back attitude and everything like that. He doesn't have the flashiest design, but he has a cool, really, really cool Devil Fruit ability. And that's honestly all it takes. We don't get that much out of Marco early on, but he became a very beloved character very quickly. Ace, same thing. Like, people loved Ace right off the bat because really cool design, really likable personality. His personality at first, it was a lot like Luffy's, but if Luffy was just more badass and cool, which is the more traditional route for a lot of characters, right? So, and then really cool ability, Fire, right? That was broke early in One Piece. Fire Logia, right? So that's level 1. So that's what makes a character that's generally what people base likable or unlikable on. But then there's like level 2, which is character depth, right? What's actually going on inside this character? Does this character have like more complex dynamics and stuff with other characters? Does this character have a sort of story or arc that's really moving? And that's the type of stuff that can take characters that are initially maybe not likable, like an Usopp, to become very likable, right? On the flip side, you can have characters that on the surface they're 10 out of 10, but then once you get to some of the deeper aspects of the character, suddenly it feels like they fall short, or you find their actual character arc really poorly done, or any sense of depth that is attempted to be added to the character you find poorly written. So I'd say there's level 1 and level 2. Level 1, you can kind of have a character that's just like, you just give them personality, cool fruit, or cool ability and cool design, and you don't need to write the other stuff, and they'll be a likable character, but people will generally not be like, oh, that's a really well written character. To have the full picture, you kind of need the level 2, and level 2 is kind of the make or break. But it's fine just existing on level 1. I'd argue Marco is still like mostly a level 1 character, and I think he's a solid character. You don't need like some really complex shit written underneath for every character. But likable is usually going to be about the level 1. It's like the 3 things: personality, abilities, and visual design. I think that's pretty much it. Game Party, thank you for the 20. Morj, what do you think of the parallels between Zoro versus Mr. One and Zoro versus Shiryu, where Zoro had to tap into the breadth of the things around him to cut iron, and maybe he will do it again when to cut Shiryu when he is invisible? Yeah, so that's something I've definitely thought quite a bit about, which is, 1, is the breadth of all things, is it observation haki? 2, if it's not, right, let's say that's just some weird Zoro swordsman shit, right? If it's some weird Zoro swordsmanship shit, then what if Shiryu's invisibility, let's say for whatever reason, awakening, I don't know, you can't track it, you cannot track it with observation haki. In that case, would Zoro have to tap into something different, which is a swordsmanship trick, which is breadth of all things? I think that would be interesting. However, I do get the sense that breadth of all things, it should be observation haki, right? So I don't know if that theory flies, but I think it would be a cool twist for their battle. On the flip side, maybe it's Zoro's like instincts, like, oh, I sense killing intent or something like he's done before. Akash Panda, thanks for the 5. Kobe moment felt like Usopp's Dressrosa moment and Zoro's Ashura from Wano. Awakened super haki under high pressure and possibly used advanced conquerors haki inadvertently. Yeah, I think that's possible too. I definitely think it's possible. Guma Boomba, thanks for the 5. Kobe got more love in this chapter than the entire Supernova, Kid, Apu, Hawkins, Drake combined during Wano. I mean, I think, well, Law overall has gotten way more love, right? But I would agree. I think this was... like, we didn't ask for much from Kid. We just asked for some... Kid literally doesn't know to this day. To this day, right? You could ask Kid right now at the bottom of the ocean. You could fish him out and be like, hey, do you know what advanced armament hockey is? And he would tell you, no, I don't know what that is. Because at the start of the fight with Kaido, Luffy was damaging Kaido with Rio, advanced armament hockey. And Kid was like, you can do that? He had, to this day, Kid, across the entire arc of Wano, and to this day, Kid doesn't know how to use anything more than baby hockey, right? Kobe, in like 4 chapters, already did this. Also, what the fuck is the stream? You deserve it. Thank you, man. I don't know if I do or not, but I will, obviously, I will appreciate it, and you know, sometimes you just accept that, you know, it's just a stream that goes that way, and I'm fortunate that it did. So thank you for the people that are here, and obviously thank you to the people that were 02657, Hurrying Lyrics 44, named Francisco Mas. Thank you all for supporting and making it a stream as crazy as this. Thank you. The JM Lou, thanks, just got here. The Kobe power-up seemed like BS. I wish we'd gotten a little bit more insight into what Kobe was, like where he was at, strength-wise, before all this happened. Because then we could scale it a little better. Because before this, it's just like, the iron ball. I keep going back to that. I was like, Kobe's running around with this iron ball. He can't lift it. He's just not physically strong enough, right? He needs 2 hands. If you asked me, I feel like pretty much any character should be able to carry that iron ball, but Kobe couldn't do it. So it's just like, when we can't gauge how big the jump is, like what could Kobe use hockey before this in general, right? Was he decent at hockey before this, you know? I think that stuff would help us understand how BS or not BS this power-up is. Nelson Castro, thanks for the 5. What law school were you looking at applying to when you wanted to attend? That's a good question. So, I did very well on the LSAT, right? So I was looking at law schools. For me, it was kind of like, if I go to law school, because I really didn't want to go to law school, but it was like, if I go to law school, I want to go to a good law school. So the law schools that I were looking at, they were like among the T14 law schools, right? That's the what is it? It's been so long now. T14 or T16? There's like a set of like top law schools, basically, right? There's like a set of like 14 or 16 or something like that, top law schools. At least that's what it was years ago when I was looking into it. So out of them, a lot of them, they look at the 2 things. They look at, from what I recall, they look at your GPA and they look at your LSAT scores. My college GPA was not great because I really I phoned it in. I was like, this is humanities. I'm just trying to cross this shit off, get my degree. I really, I skipped a lot of classes, did not do homework, etc. So my college GPA was not good, but my LSAT score was really, really good. So I was looking at colleges that valued the LSAT way more highly than your GPA. And I believe Columbia, hold on. That was the one that, like, I really had my eye on, because that was one that, as I remember, it weighed your LSAT score way higher than your GPA. And my LSAT score was good. I had a 173, which is like, if you don't know how hard it is to, like, it is hard to get above 170 period for the LSAT. So I was in a good spot LSAT wise, but my GPA was still below what Columbia would have asked for. But it was theoretically doable to apply there with that LSAT score. And I had a really, really good letter of recommendation because I did mock trial and everything. And the college I did mock trial at was very well known for mock trial. And the professor that ran the program there was very well renowned. So I had a good shot in general, basically. Like, I kind of had like a good shot in theory with a very, very strong recommendation from like inside the system of like, a professor that's prominent both in undergrad and grad for for law stuff and everything like that. Very extensive mock trial experience and a very good LSAT score. But I have no idea if I would have gotten in, because at the end of the day, my GPA was not Columbia material quite. It was a bit below it, and, never had to find out at the end of the day. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not knowing. Hidden Sun God, thanks for the 20. A trade to world government / Navy for Garp won't get Blackbeard anything. Really? Garp is a D. Emo will let him rot and a kind... But it's not about if he's a D or not, right? It's the reputation and value that the world government places on him, It's not just him. Akaino has been rebranding the Marines since he became Fleet Admiral. Do we know how Akaino views Garp? Does he even care about Garp? I think Akainu would still look up to and respect Garp, I really think he would. Zex545, thanks for the 5. Hey Morj, do you think the situation with Garp could be another case of Jaguar D Sol? I can't see Garp dying off screen. Yeah, I don't think Garp dies here. We voted on it. He doesn't die, according to us. Carson Cock, isn't Conqueror's Hockey more innate where armament is hard work? This didn't feel... Yeah, but it's like Conqueror's Hockey is innate in that either you have it or you don't. But, so you can't like train to... You can... How do I say this? My understanding, right, is that either you have Conqueror's Hockey or you don't. So you can't train to get it, but it can get... Oh. But that doesn't mean that, like, you just don't train, period. You know what I mean? Like, Luffy, pre-time skip to post-time skip, his Conqueror's Hockey was better and more controlled. You know what I mean? He could use it on command, whereas pre-time skip he couldn't. So there is some level of mastery that you can attain with Conqueror's Hockey. But you're right that armament seems the one that you can really, like, practice just through... like Luffy and Udon, he was practicing his armament hockey, right? But that translated... later on to a Hockey Bloom against Kaido where he was able to use advanced Conqueror's Hockey. So I think there is merit to the idea that maybe Kobe used advanced, like, maybe he's been training armament hockey or some shit really well in the Marines or something, and then he had a big Hockey Bloom and unleashed some advanced Conqueror's Hockey or something like that against Pika. I don't personally feel like that's the scene, but maybe. Timothy McQueen, thanks for the 5. This is my favorite chapter post Wano. It has everything to make it a 10 out of 10. And if you don't rank this in S tier in January, I will unsubscribe. You're assuming I got to do a chapter ranking? I guess I will. Yeah, this chapter, and I think like for me personally, the last chapter was even better than this one. But I feel like this chapter was like a nice payoff to the setup of last chapter. You know what I mean? So this whole stretch has been phenomenal. Hawkins, thanks. Told you Kobe was going to flex this chapter. I'm really happy Kobe did. Most of me saying that Kobe doesn't need to be strong before this was because people were shitting on him for looking weak. And I personally, I'm of the opinion that Kobe doesn't need to be strong to be a good character. I think he's like Usopp. But if he's, got good character stuff and he's strong, I will happily take that. Isaiah Davis, thanks for the 10. Kobe will be promoted to Vice Admiral, taking Garp's place. He'll get a 1 billion bounty bump from Cross Guild for escaping Hachinosu. It'll mirror Luffy's 1.5 billion promotion as 5th Emperor. Yeah, I wonder what Kobe's bounty is. Was that established? I wonder how much it'll go up. I do hope he gets promoted to at least Vice Admiral, because they just lost Garp. So you got to fill in. Got to get a new Vice Admiral in there. L, thanks for the 5. I really thought Garp was going to get some help, but goddamn, my bro was soloing these guys. Garp is definitely Luffy's grandpa. Yeah, it's crazy to think about just what Garp in his prime, like, what does that mean? What does that look like? Garp, Roger, Whitebeard. I really hope we get this Rocks flashback soon. Really hope we get it soon. You know what? Yeah, once Blackbeard gets... People have been talking about this. Blackbeard and Garp, their confrontation could lead to... Like, their conversation could lead to a flashback to what happened at God Valley, because... the Blackbeard pirates are obviously kind of, they're following in Rox's footsteps. They've taken his island. They've taken his name for Blackbeard's ship. Blackbeard obviously is influenced by him. And Garp was there at the God Valley incident. So I wonder if Blackbeard maybe once the egghead stuff settles down, we get a nice cutscene over to cutaway scene over to back to Hachinosu, and have Garp talking to Blackbeard, pushing Garp for questions or for answers, Joseph 1209, how long does Luffy last if he was in Garp's place against the Blackbeard Pirates? I don't think he wins. Plus, we definitely go back to Egghead after that last panel. This is crazy, but I honestly think that Luffy could... Okay, I think if Luffy was written to his full potential, I really think that he could take those Blackbeard Pirates. By full potential, I mean not what he's doing against the Seraphim right now, where he's just fucking around. Like it's fucking Dressrosa, like it is fucking Dressrosa level, which is what it feels like, okay? Not like that. I'm saying Luffy, by the end of the Kaido fight, where he's doing everything, right? He's got his future sight turned on, all right? Okay, let me just ask you this. If Luffy just rolls up, starts with a Bajirang gun, what are the Blackbeard Pirates doing? What are they doing? I think they're fucked. I personally don't see Aokiji stopping that. And, outside of Aokiji, none of them are really going to help against a Bajirang gun, As far as I can tell. Am I crazy? Because put it this way. I don't know. Maybe I'm really underestimating Shiryu. It's just that Shiryu's given me no reason yet to be impressed by him. Like, the only thing Shiryu has done is turn invisible and stab Garp. And that is something that requires basically no, it's not like a impressive cutting feat or something like that, It's like scored, stabbed Whitebeard, you can do shit like that. Peter Falk, thanks for the 5. Do you think all this crescendos into the final war pre-finding the One Piece? If so, will we pick up Yamato? Yeah, I think a lot of this provides fuel for the fire heading into the final war. But I think One Piece has to be found first. Will we pick up Yamato? For me right now, Yamato's just a big question mark. I could see Yamato joining again, but it requires so much, I think it requires us revisiting Wano in general and her getting some character stuff, People are saying San Juan Wolf stops the Bajirang gun. I think he would be one of the least important fighters against Luffy, personally. Abdul Rahman Madi. I don't think it makes much sense for Kobe to have used Advanced Conqueror's Haki, but narratively I think it's more powerful for the raid to have started with Garp's Galaxy Impact Advanced Conqueror's Haki and Kobe ending it by Advanced Conqueror's Haki as well. I mean, you could view it as something like Garp starts it with Galaxy Impact, Kobe, like a huge Advanced Conqueror's Haki attack, Kobe ends it with Honesty Punch or whatever, Honesty Impact, and that's like a nice armament, like a nice big armament Haki punch that maybe one day down the line develops into a huge Conqueror's Haki punch, but I don't think it has to be the same thing. L, thanks for the 2. Any characters you think are gonna have Conquerors? I could definitely see Kobe being a Conqueror's Haki user now. The characters I'm just split on at this point are like, I don't know if Admirals, like I think Akainu having Conqueror's Haki would fit at this point. I think it would fit. I think Usopp down the line, it's just he's such a tricky character because he has so many like all of his traits on the surface are not Conqueror's Haki traits. It's just, does that define who he is underneath? Because underneath I think there's a Conqueror waiting to come out, Shiryu cuts the Bajirang gun in half. Must be reading a different Shiryu than I am. Tuna Sub, thanks for the 2. Any ideas on how Tequila Wolf could come back? No, I forgot about that shit. Tequila Wolf is one of the coolest things in One Piece because it's just one of those things that you know is a significant mystery, but you just have no idea how it's going to come into play. So it just adds to the overall sense that One Piece is just this huge, huge, huge puzzle piece that's so vast that you literally can't remember all the question marks that need to piece together. The final storm, thanks for the 5. What if Blackbeard uses Pudding's fruit for Garp's God Valley / Morjwa memories? What if Blackbeard uses Pudding's fruit for Garp's God Valley / Morjwa memories? Oh, Teach could also convince Moria to take Garp's shadow for his scheme. Garp's shadow. Wait, what the fuck happened to Moria? What the fuck happened to Moria? Wait. What happened to Moria? Does anyone remember? Yeah, Usopp might not. I'm just throwing some shit out. I like the pudding thing. It fits really, really well. Amogus says Morj. You know, some people still think Shiryu greater than Aokiji. Shiryu greater than Aokiji at this point? Come on now. How? Moria left? I hope Moria make... Wait, if Moria escaped, then could he join Cross Guild? I would love for Moria to join Cross Guild. Moria joining Cross Guild? Here's the thing. Moria joining Cross Guild wouldn't be that crazy. So Perona went to save Moria. Because Perona's... Who's her only connect, right? Perona's only got one connect in the world. Outside of Moria. And that's Mihawk. Obviously, the Cross Guild group is not going to say no to another Shichibukai joining their forces. Oh, man. Cross Guild's such a cool group, man. I want more people to go join Cross Guild. Francisco Mas, I think the fleet saves the day in the end. I gotta add you as a moderator for all the gifted memberships. Thank you. Fleet saving the day at Egghead would be pretty cool because we know that they're set up for some big incident, right? Unless the incident was what they did with the Celestial Dragon, but I hope they come in clutch to actually help out the Strats because the biggest problem for the Strats right now is just the sheer numbers that they're up against, you know? Gabriel Lambert, thanks for the 5. Mihawk greater than Shanks. One of them has... This chapter wasn't about them. It wasn't about anything. You know what? The problem is I said the word Mihawk. That's what I did. I should have just not said anything. I should have said that Perona has a mysterious... She has a friend in Cross Guild that we've met before. And that suggests that maybe she would drag Moria along to Cross. That's what I should have said. She had a friend. Some anonymous buddy. God damn it. Mihawk greater than Shanks. One of them has a black blade. We don't know what it takes to make a black blade, but I think that it will decide why Mihawk greater than Shanks. Yep. I guess that means Mihawk stronger than Roger. Peter Falk, thanks for the 5. How do you think the Straw Hats will defeat the siege? Are we getting hockey and weapon upgrades for the crew? You know, usually I feel like when the Straw Hats have a big fight, like they did in Wano, right? I feel like I'm muting my phone. What's going on here? When they have a big fight in Wano, right? Then they get their upgrades. So everyone showcased new abilities or got new abilities. I think it's then rarer that we see them getting a bunch of upgrades in the next arc too. You know, like if you track the Straw Hats, usually the arcs that they get their big upgrades, it's like, okay, so Alabasta, right? They all get their fights, they all show new abilities and stuff like that for the most part, except for Usopp, I suppose. Then the next time they all get their big upgrades is Enies Lobby, right? And then, you know, similarly, Fishman Island, that's after a lot of training and everything like that. Then they've been working with mostly their Fishman Island movesets for the most of the New World all the way till Wano, you know? So usually Oda doesn't stack up on power-ups and upgrades that quickly. He'll do minor stuff like Sanji getting the raid suit or something here or there, but he doesn't like give the whole crew an upgrade that often till it's like one of those big arcs where everyone gets a fight. Is Egghead going to be like that right after Wano? I don't know. But maybe we see them, you know what? Maybe with Egghead we see them just in better, like a better demonstration of a lot of the abilities that they picked up in Wano. You know what I mean? Like maybe we see Zoro using Ashura again, but this time with just this time with greater control over it or something like that, you know? Maybe we see Sanji using Ifrit Jambe but with more moves and techniques with it, you know? Nami with control of Zeus better, stuff like that. And somebody else mentioned just a second ago that like maybe the cavalry arrives with the cavalry arrives with, you know, those guys who are those guys, the Grand Fleet. L says, feel like most Straw Hats should have Conquerors by end of story. Conquerors Haki? I don't think so. Like Conquerors Haki is supposed to be rare in general. You know, obviously it's not that rare, right? But it's still supposed to be somewhat rare. You know, like Kaido's crew had, as far as we know, it had no confirmed Conquerors Haki users. Big Mom Pirates, it just had Katakuri. Red-haired Pirates, I feel like Ben Beckman might have it, but I wouldn't bet on anybody else. Whitebeard Pirates, it was just Ace, wasn't it? And Ace was a late addition. It was Odin initially, but then, you know, then Odin left the crew and then Ace had it. So, you know, for the most part, just one other Conquerors Haki member at a time. The Roger Pirates had obviously Roger and Rayleigh who had it. And then they had Odin and Shanks, but Shanks was a cabin boy, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like, you know, like it wasn't his time yet to be a real crewmate. So out of Roger's actually useful crewmates, right, like the active ones, the ones that made it to Laughtail, that went to Laughtail, right, Shanks was deemed too much of a kid to come along. It was really just Roger, really, and Odin, who was, you know, Odin's his own thing, I almost feel like. Hans Ding, thanks for the 5. Don't think you can scale Aokiji off of this. Garp caught Aokiji out twice for holding back in the fight, plus we didn't see how Garp was defeated at all. I don't think it makes Aokiji look bad, you know, like, if you want to, I don't know, like, I don't want to get into it too much. I think it's one of those things, I feel like it's a very similar situation to what we saw with Whitebeard versus the Admirals, where we saw enough that to me, it felt clear that that Whitebeard and Garp, at their best, you know, like in their primes, what they're fully capable of doing is significantly above an Akainu or an Aokiji or an Admiral. But because of age, they can only do their best stuff in spurts, I suppose, which makes it more of a even fight. And then on top of that, the Admirals in both cases, Akainu and Aokiji, they had a lot of other characters helping them at the same time, right? A lot of other characters dealing damage and doing attacks and stuff. So ultimately, if one person's going to go down, it's the old guy at the end of the day. So it was one of those things where it was just like, okay, reading this fight, it's like, it seems clear to me that when these guys do their best shit, they're above the Admirals, even above the Admirals, but the Admirals are still like in their aged state. Whitebeard and Garp, the Admirals are able to be a significant, you know, the Admirals are able to go toe to toe, and obviously with additional factors like having to protect your subordinates, having more bad guys ganging up on you, etc. The old guys, they're just gonna go down in the end. Like, I don't think it was a bad showing for Aokiji at all. If anything, it's more like, oh, I was more impressed at how well Garp did. Because, yeah, I was more impressed. I thought that Garp would end up losing to Aokiji straight up, but Oda did also have the other Blackbeard pirate, like 1v1, but Oda also had the other Blackbeard pirates involved, right? um, which just made it even more difficult for Garp to win. Keenan, thanks for the 10. There's a 0% chance of it happening because I'm of the popular belief that Blackbeard will exchange Garp to become King of Hachinosu. Yeah, I'm on board with that as well. But I want Dragon to come save his dad. Like how Sabo got Kuma Reverie style. That would be insanely cool. That would be so cool. I just don't see it happening. I don't see Dragon coming to save Garp. That would be crazy. The Blackbeard Pirates did run a raid on Dragon's home base on Baltigo and run them out of, their home turf. It would be cool if Dragon returned the favor, but it's just so opposed to everything that Dragon is actually focused on right now, which is saving the world and defeating the world government and all of that stuff. Oh, let's get the stream likes to 600 real quick. Caleb Brown, thanks for the 2. Imagine Moria and Buggy's personalities together. Look, Moria, come on. Moria's not nearly as much of a, Moria has pride and such in his, in his pirate capabilities. He wanted to fight Kuma straight up. Moria's got more of a backbone. He's not a comic relief character like Buggy, Come on. Abyssal Leviathan, thanks for the 5. I thought Kuzan would show Logia Awakening, but I guess Oda is saving it for Egghead. I don't know. Imagine Kizaru being the one to showcase Logia Awakening. How cool would that be? Because Kizaru's got one of the coolest Devil Fruits, right? So for him to be the first one to clearly showcase Devil Fruit Awakening, that'd be amazing. Erland Ochoa says, you kind of dodged my question a few streams ago. Have you decided where you'd place Jimmer, the Shanghai Strangler, Fredette in your top 10 yet? I'm going to dodge your question again. I'm not answering that. I don't understand what it means. I kind of dodged your question. The fuck does that even mean? Joseph1209, thanks for the 10. Sorry, my voice is kind of going. Again, I've got a bit of a cold right now, so just going to take some NyQuil and shit after this. Joseph1209, thanks for the 10. You think the world government has a way to forcibly induce Zoan awakening? This would explain how fodder characters in Impel Down awakened but did not have the will to control the awakening, while Kaku and Lucci could. I could imagine it. I mean, we know that those Minotaur characters, etc., were being whipped and tortured by Sati, right? I could imagine it. Yeah, maybe it's possible. Yeah, it's probably possible. I would still love some sort of actual explanation from Oda and an SBS or something why Kaido and Big Mom did not have it. Super Hot Cash Flow 741, thanks for the 5. Hey Morj, just wanted to know if the stolen car investigation ended in failure or it will be in a 5-act structure. I updated you guys last stream. Car has been found. Damage is pretty minimal. It's literally the break-in point, which was the back window, and then the steering column. It has its ignition taken out and all of that stuff. And part of the front bumper is damaged. It is currently... I don't know if it's been towed to the shop just yet. But last I talked to the Geico person, which was earlier today, it's supposed to be towed to the shop. I've talked to the shop guy and everything like that, so it shouldn't be a long repair. So that should all be fine. I don't know if it's been towed to the shop yet, just because the Geico guy, I asked him, like, okay, what's the next step? He's like, no step. You just gotta get it towed and stuff. So then I texted him like, hey, can you please let me know when it's gonna be towed? And then he never responded to that. So I'm kind of like, okay, does that mean that he'll text me when it'll be towed, so he feels no need to text back now? Or is he kind of just like, fuck this guy, I'm not telling him? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with the whole thing. It's just that I need a new way to make sure that the car doesn't get stolen. So I've looked into some stuff. There are things that you can, like add-ons that you can do to make sure that your car won't get stolen. But uh, here's the fucked up thing: is that most everything, like my car is still a Hyundai, so anything that I get will ensure that it won't get stolen. But people will still probably try, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't be surprised if my window gets broken again in the future with someone trying to break in and then steal it. So that's the thing. So there needs to be a general, I need a better strategy basically. So I'm looking into some things. I could. The problem is that, so when I went to the car lot, the guy was basically explaining, like, not the Geico guy, the people that work at the car lot, the person who showed me around. He was explaining that first, the car lot filled with Hyundais and Kias, and he said that some of them get stolen, and then 2 weeks later, some of them are recovered after they've been stolen. Like, these are recovered cars. Person picks them up, and then 2 weeks later, they're back in the lot again. So I was like, that doesn't sound good. So he was telling me, when he was showing me the Hyundai, he was just like, yeah, you should try and convince Geico to declare this car totaled. Just say that I smell drugs in here, or the guy peed in it, or something like that, and just try and make Geico get convinced the car is totaled. The problem is that the Geico guy assessed that so that I can get money instead for a new car. I didn't really do that just because I was like, I'd rather not get tangled in something messy like that. And the Geico guy just straight up was like, yeah, the damage is very minimal. So it's not like I could get it declared total, but I would like a different car at the end of the day. So I'm trying to figure out. Either I up the security on this, or I figure out a way to trade in. Maybe I have to spend some more money. I don't know. But then I get extra money off of the Hyundai lawsuit. So I'm like, maybe I could use that, fund a new car. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But either way, overall, it's not a big deal. It was just an inconvenience more than anything. Like, insurance and everything covers it. I actually probably make a profit based off of the Hyundai lawsuit. So it's just an inconvenience overall. But while the car is stolen, it's just a huge stressor in my head. Anyway. Leo Recto, thanks for the 2. Hey Morj, opinion on slaves under Morj. I mean, they'll be freed over time. Right? Once Morj is raided and all of that, they'll be freed. So don't even worry about them. Out of sight, out of mind, man. Caleb Brown, thanks for the 2. Does your car have a Klabauterman? What's its name? You know what's funny? So I'm not one of those people that's sentimental about my cars, like my vehicles. Well, this is the only one that I've really owned myself. But I'm not someone that's sentimental about it. So when it went missing, I was just like, after a couple days, I was like, okay, so it's probably not being recovered. Cool. Gone forever. It's fine. So I was already in the mindset of like, okay, I gotta start looking into what's the next car. It's kind of weird. I'll never see that car again. Didn't realize that's the last time I'd ever see it, but I didn't feel anything about it. When I got to the towing lot, once it'd been recovered, and then I went to see the car, I did actually feel very nice seeing the car again. So I was like, oh, you know what? There was actually some sentimental attachment to this car, and I'm happy that I have this car again instead of some new car. Despite this car having its security issue. So, sometimes you don't know. So maybe it had developed a Klabauterman. The Klabauterman did not do a good job fighting off the thief, though. So I can't say much about it. Oscar Cruz, thank you very much, man, for being a Yonko tier member for 10 months. I used to hope for a meetup of all the monkey family. Looks like that is becoming less likely. I don't think it's less likely, because I still think that Garp gets shipped off back to the world government at some point. For Blackbeard's deal to become king of Hachinosu. Yeah, would still love to, and I imagine Luffy will be making his way to Morj at some point, and so will Dragon. So I think that a meeting that happens between the three of them, I think it's still very, very possible. Would still love to see how they interact together. Seeing Garp scold Dragon would be hilarious. I think that'd be hilarious. The 1000 Morji. I burn the car. I go home. My mechanic friend. You know what? I don't have a mechanic friend, but the guy at the car shop in my local. It's so important to find a good auto shop in your area. It's so important to find one that's not overpriced or constantly backlogged with orders and stuff like that. Just someone reliable you can go to that you can trust. So I found one that's really good in my area. So I go back home. The dude from the shop comes over. He's like, please allow me to build you another car from scratch. My dream is you drive it around the world. Wait, can you drive a car around the world? Like, obviously there's oceans and shit. I'm not stupid. I'm just saying, like, hold on. Hold on. You can, right? Because everything connects at the top. Right? Right? Am I crazy? Is there like a... No, you can't. Can you? I was just wondering if the Arctic area could connect. No. All right. Never mind. The dream is dead. You can't connect. You you can't drive a car around the world. Shit. All right. You can put it on a boat? If I ever get to a certain amount of wealth, I'm definitely going to do an around the world in 80 days type thing. That'd be fun. Obviously, you can do it way faster than 80 days, but it's the spirit of the adventure, you know? Eric Trelato says you can't go to Australia, bro. Yeah, like I want to. Like that's part of the planned route. Oh shit, gotta make sure I see Australia. With all the weird ass giant insects. And former criminals, let's not forget. CK, thanks for the 5. I think Aokiji puts Garp in a cryo state to get him off the board until Luffy and Sword, Kobe, go head to head with Blackbeard at God's Valley, freeing him. That's an interesting idea. Because we know Blackbeard's going to be taking some shit to God Valley, right? Like pudding. Because he needs someone to read. We're just... Wait, what? Akintu says Australia is just the Bowen Archipelago, IRL. Australia is budget Hachinosu. Well, how far back was the criminals thing? Because that's kind of the only thing I know about Australia. Australia, country of... I'll just say this. You know who's really stupid? The British. So are Americans, but we mostly get it probably from the British. Because wasn't Australia, like, wasn't the whole plan that Britain would use Australia as a place to send their criminals, right? Wasn't that the whole plan? That someone just make sure that this is correct. Wasn't that the plan? That we'll just use this whole place? But did they know? My question is, did they know how big Australia was? Because if you look at it, right? So if you look at the world map, why is this a terrible world map? Okay, so if you look at the world map, right? So, if you're like Britain, I don't even know where Britain is. It's somewhere here. Yeah, so if you're Britain, and you've got this tiny ass little place, right? And you've wasted a lot of time, like, I don't know, like, hold up here, or whatever, right? You've got this tiny little place, right? And then you find out about this land that's fucking gigantic, and it's like 50 Britons wide, right? It's the size of 50 Britons. And then you're like, you know what the ideal use for this land would be for? To send our criminals there. Like, let's leave ourselves this tiny little shitty, like, 4 feet by 4 feet piece of land. That's what we'll keep for ourselves. And then the guys we don't like that we keep in jail, let's gift them basically America 2.0. That's a good idea. Is that, like, that's what they did? Right? That's what they did. Red Dodger is saying this is today's map, though. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot in the 1700s, Australia was fucking tiny. And every year, it grew like 1 mile. That's what happened, right? That's how continents develop. It just fucking grew. And no one could have expected it. In fact, in the 1700s, Britain was the size of Australia. Britain was fucking huge. You see this whole space? Britain was gigantic. And then every year it got smaller and smaller and shrank till now it's this big. Whereas Australia was really tiny. It was the size of Britain, but then it got bigger every year, and now it's gigantic. What does that even mean? Australia, this is a world map today. Of course it's a world map today. Inflation, says Virgil Hawkins. Joseph1209, thanks for the 10. I never thought Luffy would be bitter that Dragon wasn't around because Garp always filled that father role. But Garp wasn't around either. Neither of them were around. Isn't that fucking hilarious? It's like, oh, my dad abandoned me as a kid. And he left me to my grandpa to take care of me. But then the grandpa also abandoned me to a mountain bandit to take care of me. And he would only show up once in a while to throw me in a forest and hit me. Garp always filled that father role, but it will be interesting to see their first encounter if Garp was already dead. Garp's not going to be dead, though. Come on, Garp's not going to be dead. Nisinus says Australia is mostly barren wasteland, though. Hey, come on. There's Australians in chat. You can't just say that shit. You can't just say that shit. There's Australians in chat here that would take great offense to that. And it's not just, if it's all just barren wasteland, then how come there's kangaroos everywhere? They don't think it's a barren wasteland. You know what's a barren wasteland, in my opinion? India. You want to see a barren wasteland? You want to see a place that has no right to house as many people as it does? Go to India. All right? We're not complaining about you know, lack of natural resources and shit. I don't know. I just think that the British, they made some bad decisions. I think they made a lot of bad decisions. Hindsight is obviously 2020 because I'm sitting here in you know, in a post-British Empire world. Probably during the British Empire, they're probably making a lot of good decisions. But I don't know. I question some of the things. They're just like, they sent over a bunch of people came over to America, and it's like, wow, America's this great country, and Britain's like, yeah, and like obviously the Americans will enjoy, like people will enjoy living in that country while still paying us cash, you know, and us in our tiny little state, we'll just control that gigantic country of America, and that's just the way it'll work. And that didn't work out. And then they're like, okay, we found another giant piece of land. It's like 1 million times bigger than our place. We'll send all of our criminals there. That'll be a great idea. India, we'll take over India. That was probably one of their better ideas, but then we became too much of a hassle for them to take care of, so they had to drop that investment as well. I don't know. Angel, thanks for the 5. Who would you have the best chance with to date a One Piece girl? That's a good question. Who would have the best chance with to date a One Piece girl? I think Robin would like me. That's my personal opinion. But I'm obviously very biased. Because I would like to believe that Robin would like me. Jose Laria says blue at 13 colony lead. Yeah. The Brits sold. Wrench Charger 2000 says history stream with Morj, and we learned that Morj doesn't know history. Shit, maybe Robin wouldn't like me. As long as she doesn't see this stream. As long as she doesn't find out about this stream, I think we're good. Alright, guys. I think we are now officially far enough off track from the chapter that we've talked enough about the chapter. I think I'm going to call it here. So I'm just seeing if there's any last supers or anything like that I've missed. I think I'm good. Yeah. Alright, guys. Oh, wait. Umer Ula says, Level Impossible, say one good thing about Naruto. No, I've said so many good... People ignore I've said so many good things about Naruto. First of all, the Naruto one-shot that just came out was really, 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 really fucking good. Really good. Really good. I think that the symbolism or the metaphor that he used throughout that one Minato one-shot of the idea of the spiral, but the idea of the helix, the idea of basically combining two spirals, and how all of that played into the Minato Kushina story, and how that eventually led to, you know, the creation of Naruto as well. Like, there's just so much symbolism in that. The development of the Rasengan, the development of their relationship, the development of their child, the view of, like, how you could think of yourself as trapped in or rising up, parallels between, like, the final panel of it and everything like that. I think that was really, 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 really well written. And I think in Naruto you do get some of that. When I say something good, I think you do get, like, Kishimoto at his best, I think was good at doing a lot more nuanced writing than Oda, for sure, in many ways, right? Like, that's a little, you know, most people would consider basically using something like that consistent, and that's all in the span of one chapter. That's just generally, you know, more nuanced, more developed, like actually utilizing certain literary tools and ideas, right? That's not to say that's just a strength of Kishimoto's, right? I think where Kishimoto goes too far is in terms of, like, just over the top corniness or cheesiness with a lot of the ideas that he does. Definitely not as good at planning out, utilizing all of his characters, right? Working with his world, like so many other strengths. And I think One Piece hits better emotional highs personally. But I think Naruto at its best, like, I think a lot of the way he used subtext, symbolism, generally more nuanced, nuanced dialogue and ideas, I think that was all really, really good. But that was Kishimoto at his best. I think, like, if he gets a solid span of time to sit down and write a chapter again, it makes sense that he can produce something like that. I think that chapter is better than the majority of the Final War, you know? It was a really, really fucking good chapter. Mr. Prestige, thanks. Don't forget to watch the video. Fuck, gotta watch the video. Alright, here, I'll pull up the video. I still got it up. Here. Alright, I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna make the video really small, though, so that I don't get, like, banned or whatever, or, like, you know. Okay, so the video is really small. Here, I'm gonna play the video. Okay. That's one of these. That's funny. Oh, this was all made today? This is actually like funny. That was funny. Philly, this is the last one. Hey Morj, thoughts on recent Chainsaw Man chapters? I thought the last one had a really funny ending. I feel like Chainsaw Man has been in a bit of a lull, or trying to find its new strength or direction for a little bit, basically, because I thought part 2 started off really hot. I think ever since the Falling Devil stuff, like partway through it, I think that it's been a little bit without a clear, without a clear draw or strength or something like that, in my opinion, or even direction for the story. So I think hopefully that develops very soon. All right, guys. I'm going to call the stream here. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And thanks again for, just in general, everybody that gifted gifted memberships, etc. Definitely the craziest stream we've ever had in terms of that, so I really appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody who keeps coming back to these. But yeah.